Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Daily Fantasy Digest Podcast, the all-inclusive podcast where we talk all things fantasy sports to help give you an edge. I'm your host, Joe Beer, and be breaking down this Thursday main slate here on Draftkings. I want to do a quick recap of yesterday. Mike Clevenger pitched an absolute gem, as well as Trevor Richards. The Baltimore game, early start, so I pivoted to Cleveland, which ended up doing me pretty well, as well as the Dodgers game as well, which was a very common stack. Nonetheless, another cash-filled day, which we've been continuing on this streak here. So what I want to do here is break down this slate for you, get you on your way, and let's make some money together. 4 pitchers above 10K today: Charlie Morton, Strasburg, German, and Bauer. This is definitely a pitcher's slate in all ways, shapes, or form. Bauer is going to be the most popular by far, but I really want to target Noah Syndergaard here tomorrow, going up against San Francisco in the most hitter-friendly ballpark. I think he's just going to excel. Came back after some terrible performances, pitched in Miami 9 Ks, only 2 earned runs. I think he's pitching deep into games, 100 pitches in a lot of these games. I really want Noah Syndergaard here tomorrow. I want him to go super deep into this game, so I really want to maximize efforts with Noah Syndergaard. I want to double this back with a low tier play. Really big fan of Dakota Hudson here tomorrow. I think 5.8K is really underpriced. I know he's going to be away at Cincinnati, but Cincinnati's been absolutely terrible. I mean, they got shut out by Yu Darvish here, who's been absolutely terrible in Wrigley yesterday. So I think going up against St. Louis, or going up against Cincinnati like he did here, only gave up 1 earned. I really am just looking for him to get me a 15-point performance here so I can maximize efforts in stacking bat stacks here tomorrow, because there's 2 pitchers that I really want to target here. Really want to target Matt Harvey. I want to take advantage of Matt Harvey as much as possible, going up against Houston like he was here, negative 1.7 games. So I want to target him, and I want to have Yordan Alvarez. I want George Springer. I want Jose Altuve. At the very least, I want these 3 guys. They're just way too cheap in all formats. Jose Altuve is super cheap, but Yordan Alvarez has been just incredible as of late. We see performances over here against Texas, and Springer as well as of recent. I mean, 2 homers in the last 4 games in the same game. So I really want to take advantage of George Springer here. And then Altuve as well hit an absolute grand slam 3 games ago. So I really want to maximize efforts of Houston here tomorrow, because I think that they're going to be somewhat of a dark horse bat stack. Or not a dark horse bat stack, just a very popular bat stack. But I want to make my plays as contrarian as possible. I'm not going to take Alex Bregman, and I don't want Yuli or Brantley. I want these 3 guys in particular. So yeah, let's get over to the second bat stack that we have here. I'm very torn. I wanted to target the side of Mike Fiers tomorrow with Minnesota, but I'm very heavily leaning towards targeting Merrill Kelly here, who's just not been anything great by any means, getting shelled in a pitcher's friendly ballpark for only 4.5 points, not pitching deep into games. So I really think Milwaukee here is a great stack. So if we go ahead and look at Milwaukee here tomorrow, I think you can make a case for Christian Yelich. And then I think you can make a case for Jesus Aguilar, who potentially will end up playing. If not, it'll be Eric Thames. But if you can fit Christian Yelich in, I would recommend that. It's not going to be easy. I'm going to go with Eric Thames tomorrow because I think the lefty against Merrill Kelly is going to just be incredible. And I'm going to go with Lorenzo Cain as well, because just as of recent, I mean, Lorenzo Cain has just been, too underpriced, and we've seen, flash of great games coming out of Lorenzo Cain, incredible stolen base upside. And then I want to double that back with Mike Moustakas here, who's just incredible, 25 homers on the year, 9.1 fantasy points per game, and I really want to target them as well. And as always, just so you guys are aware, if you're watching this, team low-priced catcher. Would love Max Stassi. I'll go as low as Bobby Wilson on the Tigers. I don't care. You'll be able to get a 4.6K shortstop like Jorge Polanco in Minnesota tomorrow by just going with a low-tier catcher. I think this is a great spot for anybody 2.4K or lower. So I'm going to leave that open to interpretation like I always do on these videos. So this is roughly what my lineup's going to look like come lock tomorrow. I think it's very important to get a high-priced pitcher in tomorrow. Noah Syndergaard and or Trevor Bauer are my two favorites, but I give Syndergaard the slight edge. Just because of ballpark factor. And then I'm a big fan of Dakota Hudson, who's primarily a ground ball pitcher, and I think that 5.8K is just far too cheap going up against a terrible Cincinnati offense. Then for my offensive stacks, love Houston, Yordan Alvarez, George Springer, and Jose Altuve. Then doubling that back with Milwaukee with Eric Thames, Mike Moustakas, and Lorenzo Cain. Just remember that team low-price catcher is going to get you a very, very solid shortstop because we're definitely not looking for Dakota Hudson to get any more than 15 points. That's all that's really going to be needed. So this is definitely going to be a more of a hitting slate for me. Because there's not too many cheap stacks that I'm interested in tomorrow. So with that being said, this is roughly what my lineup's going to look like. As far as pitching, this will be what my lineup's going to look like come lock tomorrow, and then potentially whoever lineup gets locked in tomorrow, whoever's in. But this should be a fair interpretation of what the lineups are going to look like come lock tomorrow. So keep that in mind. With that being said, hope you all enjoyed the video and the breakdowns that we've been coming with lately. They have been on fire. So stay tuned for more to come with that. And then also stay tuned. We'll have an interview coming out this Friday with a very special guest that I'm very excited about. And then, stay tuned for the fantasy league that's coming out. Hit the pin tweet. Follow me on Twitter at FantasyDigest_. You can go ahead and check that out. Potentially enter to join the $500 Daily Fantasy Digest Fantasy Football League. Go ahead and subscribe and like this video if you haven't already. We appreciate all the support that we've been receiving on the videos lately. It truly means a lot. We'll be doing some apparel giveaways and a big announcement coming up in the next couple of weeks. So do not worry about that. If you guys enjoy these breakdowns, really appreciate all the support that we've been getting on these. So everybody, have some good luck tomorrow. I'm very confident in this lineup as well. So good luck to everybody tomorrow. Hope y'all win some cash. We'll see you next time for another breakdown and interview on the Daily Fantasy Digest podcast.